travel. The idea that you could somehow step back into the past has floated around for centuries. With folklore and modern science combined, how is it that such a feat hasn't been achieved yet? Or has it? And has the evidence of it been hidden under our very noses this entire time? Today, we're talking about the possibility that the 45th President of the United States was, in fact, a time traveler. In 1905, when Albert Einstein released his theory of relativity that talked about the idea that time is an illusion, a flurry of excitement followed. Was he saying that time travel was a possibility? Is the human experience more profound than we could have ever imagined? Well, yes. But Einstein wasn't the only scientist working on such out-of-the-box breakthroughs. Born during a lightning storm in Croatia on July 10, 1856, Nikola Tesla made a name for himself in science through his work and was famed for being before his time. From a young age, Tesla was able to mentally store logarithmic tables as well as entire books. He quickly picked up new languages, and he could function well on little sleep for days and nights. He was 19 years old and enrolled in the Polytechnic Institute at Graz in Austria to study electrical engineering, where he soon made a name for himself as a top student. Tesla set sail for New York City in June 1884 and arrived with just $4 in his pocket, along with a letter of recommendation for Thomas Edison from Charles Batchelor, a former employer, which purportedly said, "My dear Edison, I know two outstanding men, and you are one of them. This young man is the other one." Edison, who was initially skeptical, set up a meeting, after which Tesla detailed the engineering work he was undertaking. In a short period of time, Tesla told Edison he had been able to improve the motors Edison had tasked him with. Tesla, however, resigned his job and went on his own way after Edison refused to pay him for his efforts. In 1885, Tesla found that time could be bent through magnetic fields, which, in theory, could create doors, allowing us mere mortals to walk through and go back and forwards through space and time. Experimenting on himself, Tesla worked with high voltages of electricity in order to investigate his theory. By March of that year, he had a near-death experience. He would later reveal to a New York Herald reporter that he had been electrocuted by 3.5 million volts of electricity and was thrown into the air. His assistant had acted fast to shut off the power and save his life. But the experience changed Tesla forever. In the moments as the electricity surged through his body, he claimed to have had visions of the past, present, and future. And that was when he realized that his life's work had been accomplished. Tesla passed away from heart failure whilst living alone at the New Yorker Hotel in January 1943. As soon as his death was made public, the Federal Bureau of Investigation ordered the Office of Alien Property to seize his belongings. The hotel's safe was also opened, and Tesla's life work was handed over to electrical engineering professor John Trump. According to rumors, Nikola Tesla was successful in developing a time machine before he passed away, and Trump was tasked with verifying if any of Tesla's work contained any ideas of significant value. Weeks later, Trump submitted a report concluding that the papers were of speculative nature and no time machine existed. But what if Trump's report had all been a lie? What if something of value had been included within those papers, and he kept them to himself? Had Tesla unwittingly handed over a step-by-step guide to his life's work? A time machine. After that day, all of Tesla's papers and work mysteriously vanished, and to this day, no one has any idea what happened to them. Well, 74 years after John Trump was seen with Tesla's work, his nephew, Donald J. Trump, under the weirdest situation, became the 45th President of the United States. Could the Trumps have pulled off the plot of Back to the Future? Did John Trump play the role of Biff Tannen? stealing the time machine to benefit his future family. So where is all this coming from? Why is the theory out there that the Trumps were time travelers? Well, in 1889 through 1900, an obscure 3 books were released by author Ingersoll Lockwood, titled Baron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey, Little Baron Trump and His Wonderful Dog Bulger, and the last book, ominously titled The Last President. In the tales of Baron Trump, the young German protagonist of these tales, Wilhelm Heinrich Sebastian von Trump, also known as Baron Trump, journeys throughout the globe and beneath the earth with his dog Bulger, encountering inhabitants of as yet undiscovered regions, before returning to Castle Trump. With a brain so large that his head doubled in size, Trump, like the president, wasn't a particularly likable character. The Trump family and characters appearing in these 2 novels have some strikingly similar connections. The first, the titular character Baron Trump, bears similarities not just through his name, but in illustrations too. The Last President, Lockwood's 3rd book, makes even more unsettling connections to the present. The book opens with a scene from a frantic New York City in the first few days of November, describing a state of uproar following the victory of an outsider candidate who was fiercely opposed. Police officers shouted across the streets, telling city dwellers to stay indoors for the evening. The entire East Side is in a state of uproar. Massive mobs that are organized by anarchists and socialists pose a threat to rob and destroy the homes of the wealthy, who have wronged and oppressed them for so long. The Fifth Avenue Hotel, which is located in New York City and is where Trump Tower presently stands, will be the first to experience the wrath of the mob. The story continues. Will the police arrive in time to save it? This demonstration is a stark reminder to the masses of protests that occurred shortly after Donald Trump's inauguration, even correctly guessing the streets where the masses would gather. The last novel also references the Fifth Avenue Hotel, which is on the same street as Trump Tower. Since Fifth Avenue is a well-known area of New York that housed a number of upscale eateries, boutiques, and hotels since the late 1800s, this particular detail seems to be more of a reflection of the period it was written, and less of a forewarning about the future location of Trump Tower. As well as this, in the 3rd book, the unwanted successful politician also chooses someone for his cabinet, named Leif Pence, the same surname as Donald Trump's vice president. Conspiracy theorists believe the similarities are far too convenient, from predicting names to actual real-life events that would happen hundreds of years later. The books are too similar to reality to ignore. So, what side do you sit on? Did Tesla have a secret breakthrough? And through some twisted butterfly effect, was the step-by-step guide unwittingly handed down to who would eventually become one of the most powerful men in the world?